everyone, welcome back to Aunt Susie's Kitchen. Tonight I'm going to just make a really quick turkey burger. This is something that I have at least one night a week, maybe sometimes 2 nights a week because they're fast, they're easy. I make a batch of them, I throw them in the refrigerator, and then I just kind of grab and go as the week goes on. So let's put this one together, super simple. I have 93% ground turkey here. This comes in a package that I think is about 20 ounces, so a little bit more than a pound. I have here a cup of fresh basil, a couple of pieces of your favorite bread, whatever you like. I happen to like a multigrain bread. I have 1 ounce of grated Parmesan that's freshly grated off the block. I have 1 egg, some table salt, and just 1 clove of butter. So just really quickly, I'm gonna take this basil and the clove of garlic, and I'm gonna cut up this bread here and put it in the mixer. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just chop that all up. And that literally took about 15 seconds to blend. And I like mixing the herbs with the bread because it keeps the herbs from sticking to the bottom or getting very watery and releasing too much liquid at one time. So I'm just going to throw these right inside here. And then after that, everything else is gonna just go in. So I've got the egg. Try to crack your egg into a separate dish before you put it right inside whatever you're making, because if this egg were bad right now, I could just throw it away. But if I cracked it into this entire container and it were bad, then I would wind up throwing the entire container of food away. I'm gonna do a teaspoon of salt. And then I'm just gonna add all of this cheese. Now I know that looks like a lot of cheese, but remember I said it's freshly grated. So when you grate it fresh off the block, it's light and fluffy and it's not compacted. And the reason why I like it off the block is because when you buy it already grated in a container, read the ingredients. In addition to cheese, you're gonna get yourself some cellulose, which are fibers of wood. And that's what they use to keep it from clumping together. So I try not to ever buy pre-grated cheese. I try to always grate it fresh myself. Okay, now I'm just gonna mix it all together. Your hands are your best utensils, my mom used to always say. The scent of that fresh basil really is delicious. And I can smell the cheese, just a little bit of pungent there. And that's it. Now, it might seem a little wet at first, but as you allow it to sit and everything combine, the bread is going to absorb any excess moisture. And that's it. So now I'm going to just take this over to the stove. I'm gonna heat a cast iron pan and we're gonna go ahead and fry these off. Okay, so we are back. I'm at my stove now. I have a cast iron pan here that I have on medium-high heat. Cast iron takes a while to come up to temperature, but once it does, it holds its temperature very well, which is why I like cooking with it. This pan also has some grid lines in it, so it'll give me some nice scoring on these burgers when I cook them. So I'll turn the gas down a little bit now because the pan is very hot. And I'm gonna add maybe just about, I don't know, a teaspoon of some vegetable oil. And I really just want to give this a quick coating. Again, this is gonna help make some really nice grid lines and will also prevent it from sticking when it first hits the heat because there's not a lot of fat in this turkey meat. Okay, so I have a 1/2 cup scoop here, and I'm going to use this to measure out my turkey burgers so that they're all the same size. You certainly don't have to do that, but if you want to, I can tell you that this recipe will make probably about 6 of these. Turn the gas down just a little bit. I'm gonna go wash my hands, give these a turn, and come back and show you what they look like. Okay, these have been cooking for about 3 or 4 minutes. I turned the gas down just a little bit because, like I said, I want them to cook thoroughly, and I don't want them to brown too much before they're cooked throughout. So just give these a little turn right now. Look at that beautiful color on there. And like I said, cast iron, other than being outdoor on my grill, my next favorite way to cook anything is in a cast iron pan, and this is the reason why. Now, if you wanted to, you could cook these on the other side, get them just as done, and then you can transfer them to an oven-safe dish, and you could finish them off in the oven. And that certainly is a way to produce them a little bit faster, so you don't have to stand here and wait for them to cook. I have an instant read thermometer. If you're not really familiar with how to cook meat that's been prepared with egg and whatnot, I suggest you use one. I'm going to cook these to at least 160, 165 degrees internally. And like I said, I can do that here on the stove, or I can put them in a pan and I can take them into the oven. Okay, so these have cooked for about another 4 minutes on the other side, and you see they're starting to shrink up a little bit. That's how you know that they're cooking. I'm going to put them inside this oven-safe pan, and I've turned my oven on. I preheated it to 350, and the reason why I'm going to do that is because while these are finishing in the oven, I have 2 more that I want to put in the pan. Remember I said you get about 6 out of there? That's exactly what I got out of there, was 6. Whoops. Okay. And I got this last one here. I'm going to put that in. But next to those, while they cook, I want to go ahead and get some onion in the pan. Because what's a burger without onion? I don't know about you, but for me, this is a non-negotiable. I absolutely love onions, especially fried onions. And ooh, they smell amazing right now. Give them a little bit of salt. And a little bit of fresh cracked black pepper. And I'm going to let them continue to cook. They're going to get nice and soft on the one side, and they're going to start to caramelize. I'll flip them over. The burger should be ready at about the same time. We'll get them all in the oven and we'll finish this up. Okay, I want to give these burgers a turn. Just like the first batch. Beautiful scoring on the one side, but better than that, let's see how these onions are doing. Oh yeah, that is exactly what we're looking for. Yummo. All right, so we're going to cook these another 3 or 4 minutes, and then we'll get all the turkey burgers inside the oven while we finish these onions up. Certainly don't want to forget, now that we've turned them, the salt and pepper the other side. All right. I'm going to say they need maybe another 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, so these turkey burgers are done, and I'm just going to remove them from this pan and put them in an oven-safe dish. I'm going to put the lid on that, and I'm going to put it in a 350-degree oven for, well, about 10 minutes. And then I'm going to go in and check the temperature and make sure that they are cooking. And in the meantime, these onions are just, oh, look at this. They're going to be falling apart pretty soon. They've got a little bit of char on them, which is just the perfect taste to go with these burgers. Turn this gas off and just let them sit in this pan. Remember I said cast iron pans hold their heat very well, so they're going to go ahead and continue to soften while we wait for those turkey burgers to finish in the oven. Okay, so these turkey burgers were in the oven for about 13 minutes. Woo! And you can see they are still very hot, but they are thoroughly cooked at this point. This also helps keep them nice and moist. And look at all of the juices that rendered. I'm going to let these sit here for a few minutes until the juices redistribute and these burgers are cool enough for me to handle. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and toast a nice bun and get some condiments and put this all together for you. Okay guys, let's go ahead and build this burger. So I took a bun and I very lightly buttered it, very lightly. And I placed it face down on my cast iron pan, and I let it sit there until it got nice and toasty. And this is going to help keep your sandwich together. It's going to stop the juices from making the bun soggy and making the bun fall apart while you eat it. So you always want to toast your bun, whether it's hamburger bun, hot dog bun, whichever. Okay, I am going to put a little bit of mayonnaise. Can you hear that? That is a really nicely toasted hamburger bun. All right, let's get that burger. Okay, place that right on there. Look how nice and moist that is. Like I said, baking it in the oven really helps retain all of those juices. Now, I want to make sure that we get some of these delicious onions on there. And don't be stingy with the onions, because to me they are every bit as important to this sandwich as the burger itself. In my world, no burger is complete without pickles, whether it's a turkey burger or a regular burger. And last but certainly not least, just the right amount of ketchup. There you go. The perfect turkey burger. And remember, we used fresh basil, but I've also done this same burger with cilantro. I've done it with parsley. You can certainly do it with any herb you like. Try to use fresh herbs. You're gonna get the best flavors out of fresh herbs. But look at that burger. That is one beautiful burger. Look at that. Okay, so I've said this many a times. On the other end of my videos is usually dinner, and tonight is no exception. I'm gonna reheat some homemade macaroni and cheese that I made for dinner last night. That's another video. Keep watching for that. And in the meantime, go ahead and check us out on social media. We are Aunt Susie's Kitchen on Instagram, Aunt Susie's Kitchen on Facebook, and of course here on YouTube, Aunt Susie's Kitchen. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Leave us a comment. Let us know you were here. Tell us what you'd like to see in the future, and we'll try to cover it. And make sure you come back here and see us again, because there's always something good cooking in Aunt Susie's Kitchen. This is really good, guys. Look at that. Those onions, off the chart. So good.